Today, welcome to Westfield 360. We're at the Westfield Community Center, and we're going to see what goes on behind these doors. So stay tuned, because Westfield 360 starts right now. The Westfield Community Center is a multi-service center providing recreational and educational programs to all age groups, from as young as 6 years of age and as old as people in their 90s. In addition to the programs offered, we are also a Union County nutrition site providing hot, well-balanced lunches 3 days a week for our older adult population and hot meals for our after-school children. Hi, Thelma. It's a pleasure to be here with you again, and this time I'm at the Westfield Community Center, so it's nice to see you. We have an opportunity to see the facility that you've spoken about a few months ago, and maybe you can just tell myself and the viewing public at home a little bit about your community center. When did it begin?
The Westfield Community Center began in 1935, interestingly enough, as a toy lending library. We took toys in and refurbished them for the children in the community who could not get toys.
Really?
Yes, it was very interesting. It was a very nice project. Interestingly enough, the idea for the community center began back in 1930 by members of the Avalante Club and the Mindawaskan Club here in Westfield, who thought that the neighborhood here, this area, needed programs for children and adults. And it wasn't until 1935 that monies became available for programming. And when the state had the money that was available, they needed a club to sponsor. And the Mindawaskan Club and the Avalante Club helped us create the Westfield Community Center.
Now, are those two clubs still in existence today?
Those two clubs, to the best of my knowledge, are not in existence today, but they stay in our hearts because they really made it happen at that time.
So now, how long have you been affiliated as the executive director?
I've been here since 2003.
Okay.
And from 1987 to 1996, I was the coordinator for the Senior Citizens Program.
So you've been here quite a while. Can you tell us what some of the major changes that you've seen over the years?
Well, the major changes, and they're really not that many because we've maintained the same mission.
And can you tell us a little bit about the mission?
The mission itself was to strengthen the community and make every individual a productive member of society. So they started out with children and teens, and as I say, seniors, and we continue today, advocating for children as well as advocating for the older adult population.
Can you give me one example of that advocacy? What would be your role, or this community's role, in advocating for a child, let's say?
Well, today we are fighting very hard to expand the services in our after-school program. There are a lot of needs within the community, especially for children that have special needs. And we're working very hard to bring it to the forefront and integrate them within our programs.
Well, I have special training with children with any kind of attentional issues. I have a master's in special education. So my training that I use in the classroom, I pretty much use here. We really consider the community center an extension of the school day rather than an aftercare center. So their expectations and my expectations are the same as they would be in a classroom.
Do you have someone who would lobby to our state legislature, or
There is an effort now by the Department of Human Services of Union County, in conjunction with Community Coordinated Childcare and the United Way of Greater Union County, and they have put together a 5-year plan. And that will strengthen the communities, acknowledge the weaknesses in the system, and create what will be a much better system for children as well as their families. Because in this world today, we're still dealing with a lot of single parents who are struggling, as well as a lot of grandparents now raising their grandchildren.
Right, so the inception focused mostly on seniors, but over the years you've kind of integrated now with children. And I remember our last conversation, you said that you partner up the two groups a lot so that the seniors and the youngsters get together and do some projects and both learn from each other. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Right. As you will see when we tour the building, we have very limited space here. And as a result of that, very rarely do the two groups meet. because the children will take over the senior space so that we send the seniors home early. But there are days, for example, when the school lets out at 12:30, or there are holidays where we're going to have both programs here, and as a result, the two groups come together. So we do a lot of intergenerational things, singing
wonderful.
together. We had a senior teach them sewing one year. At one time, there were ceramics projects that were taught by the seniors. So it's a lot of fun time for them, and of course, the seniors look at them as their grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Now, let me ask you, there's so many questions going through my mind because it's such a great place, and I think you provide such a necessary service, and it's so nice to see that there are positive places, and Westfield, we're just rich with them. This being one of the ones that seems to provide so much. So let's start with the children. I want to know about how many children do you service, and what are the ages, and what is a typical day like for this center in regard to what you provide for a child to come here?
The after-school program, as I said, is many years old, but we have approximately 16 children in the program right now. The children come from Tamaulipas, Jefferson, McKinley, and Franklin schools at this point. We fortunately have a school bus, so we are able to pick up the children from those schools and bring them here to the center. And then we'll also provide transportation home for them in the evenings. For those parents who are not going to be here at, be able to pick their children up here at the center, then they have till 6 o'clock to pick them. For parents who are not home, they have till 6 o'clock to pick up their children. Otherwise, my bus leaves here at 5:30 to bring the children home.
And so that's the only way they can, is for a relative, for a parent, or for the bus to take them home.
Exactly.
And so you have about 16 now. What is that's all elementary schools that you mentioned. There are, once a child is in junior high, is it appropriate for them to come here as well?
Well, the children age from age 5 on up to 12.
Okay.
We have funding from the State Department of Family Development, and they restrict the age of the children that we do deal with. And of course, we are a licensed child care facility. Right now, we are searching for a new bus, plans for a new bus, and we've started raising money for that. The new bus will cost us $50,000, and we've received funding through the Westfield Foundation, the Union Foundation, and the E.J. Grassman Foundation that has given us $25,000 towards our bus.
That's fantastic.
So we're halfway there.
Good luck.
And we're very confident that we'll move forward. With the newer bus, it will do two things for us. It will allow us to put more than the 16 kids on the bus. It will allow us to put 25 kids on the bus. And we will also use it for our senior citizen population. The school bus we have now makes it very difficult for seniors to get on and off the bus. So it'll be much better for us in the long run with the new bus. So we're confident that that goal will be realized.
That's